The best loss is a fast, quick, which I guess also means fast, small loss. Hi everybody, one of my Patreon members wanted me to go over my unsuccessful trade in DBD. This one was looking oh so good until it got torpedoed by earnings, which is always a coin flip. Let's just go over the trade real quick. We'll talk about my entry and ungraceful exit and what to do next. Reminder, this is not investment advice. This is just entertainment and for information purposes only. So looking at the loss, I took a negative 6.5% loss. I try to cut my losses to about 5% or less, so a little bit uncharacteristically high, but that is the nature of gap downs. They will get you. But I was only stuck in the trade for 2.5 weeks or so. I would rather be stopped out for a small loss in 2.5 weeks than take a 6% gain 6 months later, because you are losing the most valuable commodity of all, time. And you can get a 4% gain risk-free with a high yield savings account. All right, now let's go over the trades. So DBD recent issue, prior uptrend, nice gap up here. This was probably out of earnings, and then we had a pretty textbook Atom and Atom double bottom. And one thing I really liked, I guess we can draw this in, the VCP action in the base, large, medium, small, smaller, false breakout here, came back into the pattern, got support off of the 50-day. You could have made a case for starting your position right there. Actually, that would have been a better entry, maybe a half position there. In any case, I bought the more traditional breakout here. Kind of surprised I didn't do a half position with going into this little bit of a supply, but I didn't. Pulled back, bounced. Here I could have doubled my position, but I knew it was going into earnings. And also going into the election. Nice gap up on election day, like virtually every stock in the market, and then brutal gap down. So if I don't have a 5% or more cushion, then I sell the position or reduce it drastically. In this case, I had a 6.5% cushion. The market was suddenly red hot with the the positive election moves in the general market. So I felt like the odds were stacked in my favor. But no matter what, earnings are a coin flip, and this I called heads and it called tails. So let's just look now. Yeah, so that's all there is to it. Stopped out. Now, this is getting support on the 200-day. Sometimes I'll buy a bounce off a 200-day like this if it is sloping upward here and if it had a prior uptrend. But this is kind of a waterfall crash. I usually only buy a bounce off the 200-day if it falls begrudgingly. Let's look at the numbers and see. Here's DBD on MarketSmith. The numbers actually, the earnings numbers were great, right? Plus 124. The earnings numbers on this stock are really good. 270, plus 270, plus 241, plus 342, plus 124. Sales, I didn't even read the report. I got stopped out, and I will maybe take a look at it if and when it sets up again. Sales are down to -2, though. Maybe that is what the institutions didn't like. This is a really nice, profitable company. I like that. Relative strength is down to 76 now. Industry is still really strong. And it has a really good earnings line there. Short interest is pretty high now. So what do we do now? What do we do? This is one I might get back in, but it's going to be a while. Here is our cup, right? And suddenly we've got all of this potential supply. When this starts to come up, I think most of these buyers are probably still in, and they will sell at even money, putting pressure on this the whole way up. So maybe it gives us some oscillations, right? Ultimately works its way back up, starts to give us a handle. Then that's where I would be interested. And that's probably a few weeks away. So we'll put this on the watch list. And in fact, let's put an alert up here at maybe 45. Yeah, let's go 45. When this triggers, if not before, when this triggers, I will take a look at it again. That's all there is to it. What does this stock even do? Engages in the automating, digitizing, and transforming the way people bank and shop. Yeah, this is a really hot industry. I'm actually surprised that it didn't do well on earnings. There are a few companies like this, like Affirm, which is running really hot. Now this is extended. I would never buy a big 2-day extension like that. But maybe this will give us a cap, and then pullback bounce, and then another one. For example, new, looking pretty good. Here's our most recent base. Maybe give us a little something like that. One more, and I think even like PayPal is. What is PayPal? Hold on. PYP. There it is. PYPL. Even PayPal. Look at little old PayPal. Riches to rags. This is starting to look like it's moving into stage 2 again, doesn't it? Huh. Not much of an entry point now, though. Here's our entry point. Way down somewhere. Maybe right there. All right, you guys, that is my analysis of DBD. Over time in a bull market, maybe 60% of your stocks are going to have positive earnings reactions, but you got to be real careful. Sometimes a chart like that's set up so nicely like this just gets blown up, and I don't mean gapping down 5% in this case, but sometimes they'll gap down 20-30%, right? One more thing. So I have my stop down here. When I bought it, I think I probably had my stop right here. And then I started to work it up slowly beneath the 50-day. And I like to give it a little bit of room to undercut the 50-day intraday, as stocks sometimes do. That's why I got stopped out where I did. In hindsight, maybe I was a bit reckless. I was excited about the big move in the market. Probably should have put it right underneath this piece of support. Say 45, then I only would have lost 2%. Let me know your thoughts and comments. As always, I will see you in the next video.